coming down like this and tilting. Keep your eye on the camera and tilting. Give them the signal. As the camera starts to tilt, like leaving the ball, they should be coming inside at the same time. You get. Now let everybody reset and let's apply this adjustment and let's go for an actual take now.
Got you.
Hello, what's up, YouTube? Longest time no see. I know I disappeared from here for a while. I hope you guys have not forgotten me, but yeah, I'm back. Today, I'm here to break down one of my current favorite commercial. It's a commercial I shot a couple months ago, last year in December, and I'm sure some of you must have seen it, but if you've not seen it, here is it, quickly.
One moment.
So this commercial was a commercial for the AFCON games by the official drink sponsors of the AFCON games, which is Razo. And they wanted to create something exciting, something different, something that has never been seen per se on TV. And we came together and went with this vibe of a color burst. We wanted colorful bursts everywhere. The brand itself is really associated with a lot of color bursts and vibrancy. They love colors a lot, so it just made sense for us to go in this particular direction to just enhance the brand language. I think one of the most challenging things in making this commercial was I wanted a commercial to be 30 seconds. 30-second commercials are always a pain, man. This shoot was supposed to be a one-day shoot, and we're supposed to shoot in 2 locations. The first location was the headache. It was crazy because an outdoor location that required a lot of logistics and planning. We are going to have about 200 cast members on this location. Directing crowds can be very, very crazy, to be honest.
Both sides of the camera. Spread. Not everybody passing one side. Spread out on the road. Do you understand? Pass this side. Pass this side.
My name is Oladotu Ideological, and I'm the first AD on set of Razo TV commercial. Working with over 200 extras, I can't lie, it's a beautiful experience. Really cooperative guys, all of them, from morning till night, through the sun. I can't lie, they all did well, they all did great. It's a pleasure working with all of them. A few challenges here and there, we shot on Lagos Island, and when you're shooting during the day on a busy Kakanwa Lagos Island road, you know what to expect. Area boys, buses, sirens blaring, car horns blaring. But I can't lie, everybody did a really great job.
Quick story. We went for the recce about a few days to the shoot to check out the location I wanted to use. And I found a very perfect spot in the heart of Lagos Island that I really loved, and I spoke to the location managers and everyone that, okay, this is the spot, let's lock this down. I think it was supposed to shoot on a Tuesday or so, I can't remember. But it wasn't a weekend, and that was a big concern for me. So I spoke to the location manager, not shooting on a weekend, is that good? And they were like, yes. It's good. They can lock the street down. We'll get permits and all. I'm like, okay, fine, let's go. Location manager assured me that we're good. Keep that in mind. I'll bring back the story later on as we go. Art direction, we discussed with them, and art was also in line with my art direction deck and everything that I proposed and envisioned for the shoot.
My name is Dove the Icon. I'm the art director on this project. Razo is a colorful brand with different flavors. So when I got the brief, I just knew that without much ado, you just have to bring in a lot of colors. And then it has to do with African Cup of Nations. It has to do with a drink brand that is colorful. And African flags, if you know, are very colorful flags. So that's why we have this very colorful set. That's what informs it. You can't do anything otherwise. It just has to be colorful.
Fast forward to the shoot day, one of the biggest challenge we encountered on that day was we got news that they couldn't lock down the streets. So we had to shoot a commercial on a busy street, which was impossible. I don't know, that's like literally impossible.
I'm not supposed to do that. Now this boss, let me be here. But
I was at the verge of cancelling the shoots and telling the producers, so no, we can't do this. It's either they lock down the streets or we're not shooting anything. And miraculously, we were able to lock down the street temporarily, not permanently. So we will lock down the street for 30 minutes, we try to shoot, and then we allow some cars to pass, which was not good. And before this could happen, this was like, we were supposed to start shooting like around 10 a.m. in the morning. We couldn't lock down the street till like 2 p.m., 3 p.m.-ish. And then we're now left with about just 3-4 hours to shoot before we lose the daylight. Huge challenge. But nevertheless, we pulled through, and let's quickly go through like the breakdown of the shots one by one, how they appear in the commercial. So the first shot that appeared in the commercial was an FPV shot. Shout out to Steady, a great FPV pilot in Lagos. Like, I was really impressed. He got the vision. I wanted the confusing shots, let me use that word, that spins around Lagos, revealed the landscape of Lagos, and then dives into the crowd. Because the story was supposed to be a crowd kind of heading to a football game, and one of them drinks from the Razzle bottle, and this triggers a whole lot of explosions. So it kind of converts it like a fantasy world. Everyone just sees color burst and popping everywhere, which is adding to the excitement of the AFCON games. And the next shot we see after that would be quick cutaways of the crowd, really energetic and happy. They're going to this game from different countries, hoping that their team wins the AFCON games generally. So you can see lots of other crowds here. This was shot handheld by Fed. We just had like several takes of people like jubilating. The next shot we had was kind of a complicated one. This was the first point where we see the product in the commercial. So we really needed to bring in the product very early on in the commercial. So for this, I went with a bottle rig concept where the camera would follow the bottle at an angle until it gets to the person drinking it. And that way I knew we were establishing the brand very early, and also it's unmissable, you have to see it. And yeah, that shot came out beautiful. Not 100% as I wanted it because we were kind of in a rush, but I'm glad it came out the way it did. And yeah, beautiful shot. I think the next shot that would be the character drinking from the bottle. As he's taking the bottle down, he sees what he has just done, like drinking from the bottle has just happened, like there's a bunch of explosion in the sky. And yeah, this was shot on a crane. I wanted like this top-down shots, just going down the character as the crowd continued to pass him. I love the performance, even though I would have loved to have more takes, but I was in a rush. I hate directing in a rush. I was in a rush, and he got it right in this take, and I was good to go for the next take. Quick backstory: this guy was not a main character for this commercial. A main character auditioned, and he did really well in the audition. For some weird reasons, on the day of the shoot, he wasn't just performing up to par, and I wasn't ready to waste any more time that I already did by waiting for the location to get ready. So immediately right there on set, I had to swap the lead character. I swapped him for an extra, and that was how we had this guy in our commercial. I'm glad I did that, and it did really well. So our next shot would be is POV, what is seen as the explosion happens. So this shot is quite very tricky in a way, because the building you can see in the shot right now is actually complete CGI. The building that was in the shots in the location was under construction and it didn't look pretty. I already knew that I was just going to shoot that like that and replace the building in post, so I didn't bother wasting so much time. The next shot we see is another diving shot of like an FPV shot sweeping through the crowd. And this shot is very busy. There's a lot of things happening here. You can see the red big explosion in front of him. We can see a lot of explosion in the background. On the building to the left, you can see some flags like dropping down. You can see people jubilating. You can see the market is happening. Just so many things happening in few seconds, and that was a goal. The next shot is another member of the crowd drinks from the bottle, this time a lady, and she drinks from the orange flavor. Immediately she drinks, the same ripple effect happens. The original idea I had for this shot was I wanted to put her on the track, and immediately she drinks, she moves through the crowd in a euphoric way, but for some reason that didn't work out. I also blamed that on the fact that we were rushing, couldn't plan the shot properly. I had the shot, but I didn't make it to the final commercial. During post-production, I didn't just like it anymore. Most of the shots in this scene was done with natural light. We mostly just used bounce boards and handheld. It was very, very run and gun-ish, and it came out well. That's part of having like a good TOP on your production that can think on its feet. The next shot you will see on the commercial would be the balloon vendor in the midst of the crowd. Because of the ripple effect of all the explosion happening, his balloons also starts to pop. I almost thought we were not going to get this shot because this was among the last shots we took. We had to get it simultaneously with another shot. So this shot was done by rigging the FX3 to the bicycle, and we just had him ride like a couple times. The balloon were obviously going to explode on set because, I mean, that would be so much logistics for a practical effect to happen. So we just shot it and made the balloon explode in post-production. I mean, the narration of this sounds so simple, but it wasn't this simple. That's the magic of filmmaking. We make things look simple, yeah? Next shot was a transition where the drone whips and then whips into the next scene. So this was kind of planned in a way. I just told the F3 pilots to take a lot of whips here and there so I can just randomly pick one of it and use it in the transition. And then this takes us to our next scene. Our next scene, we see our main characters in the front row of like a stadium deck cheering up their team. We can still see the color pop explosion happening all around them here and there, and we can see them in high spirits and excited. This was shot on like a slider. We put the camera on the slider and we just pushed into the character and we did the color pop explosion. Most of it was done in post-production. And next we cut to a stock footage. This stock footage was actually pre-planned from pre-production and all our PPM meetings that we were going to use footage.
So the idea is that this is the match, gong. And we are cutting to the audience according to the audience of this match. That's what we're shooting.
If you want to look at it, they don't show, let's say now just that place.
So let's imagine they are stayed here or seated here.
Then now just that place.
Yeah.
So that way we are able to study this footage and try to find a stadium that we can try to replicate shooting an actual stadium so that by the time we cut in between them, they match and they look like our crowd was actually in this stadium. And then we use this footage of Sadio Mane scoring for Senegal in one of the previous AFCON games. Next shot we'll see here would be another young boy in the crowd drinking another flavor of Razo, and obviously with the common theme of the commercial, you know that whenever someone drinks on the bottle, another magic is about to happen, right? And that's exactly what happened. He drinks from it, and the next thing we see, we have the frontal shot also that was taken on a crane. And then the next thing, he makes like a wish. He closes his eyes, makes a wish. This was, I think, also shot on the slider, and we had like the key light on the other side. In our story and our script, when he scores, we wanted the ball to explode because the boy made a wish for his team to score, and when Mane scores, it wasn't just a normal goal. The ball literally explodes to a huge pop of color. And that's how we did it. I think this was shot on sticks. We used mostly the stadium lights and a couple lights from the side, and we just threw the ball into the net like severally. We took the last frame of the ball entering the post, and from that last frame, we converted the ball to a 3D object. And we kind of like made the 3D object like explode out with the colors popping from it. It was kind of pre-planned, but shout out to Creed. Creed is a brilliant VFX artist. He came up with this plan all the way from pre-production, and we knew we could achieve it.
So my name is Creed, popularly known as Creed Motions. I came as a VFX supervisor and a VFX artist at the same. But the VFX artist will continue later, but for now, I'm just a VFX supervisor, making sure that all the shots and everything is okay for post-production.
And then we had the ball explode, and immediately the ball explodes into like the pop of colors. Obviously, if you're in a stadium like that, everyone will be surprised, right? And exactly, that's what everyone was surprised. Quick secret review. Some people must have seen this, but this was like crowd duplication. The crowd was not this much. We just had a small section of the stadium filled with the crowd, and then we duplicated it. And right here, we had everyone look at the boy direction like, what? What did you just do? And then he opens his eyes, looks around, and why is everyone looking at me? This was shot from a different angle, and he shrugs, and we see the team celebrating the goal. And then the power shots or the star shots of the entire commercial that most people loved is the shot of where the camera pulls out of the stadium to reveal the entire city. Now, quick story again about this shot. This shot was never approved by the client, was never in the storyboard, was never in the script. I just intentionally added this as an extra kicker to the commercial because whenever I do a commercial, I like to add that one shot that everyone would love. And this was not paid by the clients. I actually sponsored this myself to make sure this happened. And I did it with an open mind. If the client likes it, fine. If you don't like it, fine. I know it's an amazing shot. It's going to make my directors real. This entire city was built basically from scratch. And what we had to do was we took the shots we took in the stadium. Creed would be the best person to break down this. Was able to duplicate the crowd into the entire stadium and made the camera like pull out from the stadium. The stadium is 3D at this point, and it pulled out into the sky. And it was such an amazing shot. I loved it. This reveals the brand again, like more brand recognition. You can see the brand name. You understand that this was done for Razzle. I mean, if you don't know Razzle before now, you would know Razzle by this commercial. I just play it again so we can watch it together.
One moment.
Yeah, so if there are any other questions or anything you think I didn't address about how we shot this or how we achieved any particular shot, you can drop it in the comments. I'll try to respond to as much as I can. And yeah, I'll be dropping more videos now. I think I'm back, kinda. Yeah, that brings us to the end of this. I can't wait to see you on the next video. We're having more guests on the channel soon, so stay tuned and stay subscribed. I'll be breaking down my other AFCON commercial. I actually shot 2 AFCON commercials for this project, for the AFCON games, and I'll be breaking that down also, so stay tuned for that also. And yeah, the rest was done in post-production. Took us about 3 weeks actually. It was supposed to take longer, but we had to do it in that short amount of time. So please stay subscribed to the channel. I'll be dropping more videos soon, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Peace out. But we're going to shoot a shot that's just pulling out, so you can just extend it to VFX out the sky. So the music will just say Raz. Ah! They are daddy. They are dad. Don't worry.
I'll put my brother.